Windocks now includes a complete data masking and delivery solution. Sensitive data is discovered and masks are implemented and built into a secure database image. Database clones are then delivered in seconds for database containers and conventional instances with user and group level authorization and audit logs. This video explores why over 90% of evaluators choose Windocks for a complete data masking solution. A stepwise process begins with PII data discovery, followed by the creation of a data mask that is built into a secure database image. Images then deliver on-demand database containers with masked and cloned databases in seconds for authorized users and groups. Masking begins by creating a new project where we will connect to a source database. My source database is at port 10,001. And once I've connected to the database, my next step will be to run an automated discovery of the on that database. So I'm just going to select the North American countries as well as the United Kingdom to run this search. And it's done very quickly. And I can open up the masking tab to see the results. Now this automated discovery does a terrific job of identifying sensitive data, and we can see there's a confidence level presented for each of the fields. I find it simple just to go ahead and accept the recommended masking. I'll just move it into my new project. And here are the elements and the proposed masks. You can see that by default the masking is deterministic. This will ensure that masking from one database to the next or even between database platforms is done in a consistent fashion. And you can also see that we've got a number of different approaches to masking these fields. Let's take a look at the email field to see some of the options. Now I can use SQL syntax and I can create an algorithm for masking this field. But you can see I also have some powerful options here. I can use the @ sign and mask the family name prior to the domain name. I can also preserve the top-level domain name using the last 3 alphabetic characters. So we've got some powerful and flexible data masking options. This data masking engine also will preserve improperly formatted data, which is really a powerful thing for development and test. Better enables them to discover improperly formatted data where many masking tools will simply overwrite that. So as a next step, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to execute this against the source database that we're connected. And I'm going to go ahead and overwrite the database. Now, this is one of the faster data masking engines in the market. It'll take just a matter of a few seconds to complete this mask. And I'll go and I'll review the results on the database to determine if this is a mask that I want to proceed with. Now I've done that, and I'm going to go ahead and build this mask into an image. Let's take a look at that process. This is a Docker file that will incorporate our mask into a secure database clonable image. You can see it begins with Microsoft SQL Server 2016. Windocks supports all releases and additions from SQL 2008 to 2019. And you can see that we've incorporated permissions for a couple of user groups, test1 group and dev, and we're restoring the source backup into this image. This process supports complex images, so I could include a dozen different databases and a dozen different database masking files as well. Now the masking is applied in this case using a batch file. And that batch file has been edited to reflect the path to my masking project. And we automate the database connections with Windocks using the environment variables that you see here. So I've done all of those things. All I have to do to build the image is to use the Build tab on the Windocks web UI, select that Docker file and the mask, and the batch file rather, enter an image name, and build. My build is now complete and it shows up on my Images tab, and I can create a new container. If I were working with a complex image, I could select a subset of the databases if I chose. I can also assign ports and an optional SQL login as well. I'm going to use the default and deliver. That container's been delivered now, and if I move to my container view, you can see the container's at port 10,003. Let's go ahead and access that container. SQL Server containers are simply conventional instances on this server, and here's our mass database, and we can work with it just as we would a normal database. If you're interested to get hands-on with Windocks and the complete data masking solution that we've seen today, email us at support@windocks.com and ask for a free test drive, or simply visit the website and register for a test drive or no-cost supported pilot. Thank you.